Okay, just adjusting the mic. Hopefully you can hear me. We'll be going on camera in just a second. And there we are. There we are. Well, hello. I'm going to take these headphones off because I can't really hear my volume, but let me know if the volume is good for you. I hope you're all doing well. I'm just going to bring up the chat so I can see you. I will not always be looking at the camera, but hello today's, hello Rosea, fantastic to see you. There was a technical glitch with the previous live, and I kind of had to restart from scratch. There was a technical glitch. Let me know if the music is too loud or too quiet. I've got Epidemic sounds playing in the background. Current song playing is One Night Good Life instrumental by Blaker. So I will put the thing for Epidemic sound into the chat. It's a royalty-free music site, and I use it for all my videos, or most of my videos. Oh, you can't hear it. Okay. How about now? It's just a bit of background music. It's just to make it interesting so that people can hear it, so that might help. It's just a bit of background music so that if there's long pauses, it's not too, there's not any sort of awkward silence. There's something in the background playing. I can make it a bit louder. sort of got it. It's not overwhelming my speech, is it? No. Well, it's been a while. It has been a while. What to talk about, really? I will probably talk about my Discord server, of course. I'm just getting my taskbar settings up because I've done something to the taskbar and it keeps disappearing, so bear with me because it's a pain in the proverbial. I don't want taskbar behaviours. There we go. There we go. I had it at, for some reason I had it automatically hide taskbar, which I did not want. So I can now switch between windows as and when needed. So yeah, of course, fire away. If you've got a question, that's what this is for. This is a think of this as a question of art, an AMA. Ask me anything, a question and answer. Do I have to put the thinking hat on? Because I will put the thinking hat on if need be, he says. I will put on the thinking hat. Yes. There's been a bit of a change of heart about that. I will be doing an advent calendar and shorts this year. It's just that, I'll be honest with you, I was very disappointed with last year's Lego City advent calendar. So I'm looking at another type. I'm not going to say what because I've got to research it first. However, there will be Lego City openings. You know, there will be, not Lego City openings, I beg your pardon. There will be advent calendar. I can't say it. Advent calendar door openings. It just won't be Lego learn to speak. Use your words, Matthew. In fact, I'm gonna have a pistachio. A pistachio. Yeah. So there will be advent calendar shorts for 2025, but it won't be Lego City advent calendar because I was bitterly disappointed with last year's advent calendar. So yeah, doesn't mean it's not going to happen. It will happen, so you will get shorts. It just won't be the same thing as last year, because yeah, last year's one was, yeah, I won't go into it too much because it just annoyed me that they had too many animals which were just solid. You know, there was nothing really to put together in last year's advent calendar. The previous years have been really good, but this last year they really seemed to skimp on the mini builds. Well, I hope so too. I mean, I've got a few ideas up my sleeve, but as I say, I've got to look at price. I mean, I might even go for something like Mega Bloks. Who knows, if Mega Bloks do one that's cheaper and it's compatible with Lego, if Mega Bloks do one, I might look at Mega Bloks. Watch this space. I mean, it's only September. You never know what's going to happen. But yeah, so Excuse me. I'm just eating a pistachio nut. Da 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 dee, da 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 dee. Where was I? What was I saying? Yeah, so, you know, I thought I'd just come online. It's been a while since I've done one of these and really just sort of chatted. I'm kind of racking my brain what to talk about. Could be. Oh, I see what you mean. Yes, pistachio. I will say this now. I am reconnecting with the ASMR community. Lord of War and Heartache, Tales of the Caravan, is going to be split into two formats. There's going to be the mainstream version, and there's going to be the ASMR version. It still sort of covers the same storyline, but it'll be split between the two to make it more interesting. Its adaptability is. I kind of stepped away from the sort of ASMR side of things because I want it to be inclusive, more inclusive. I've never turned away ASMR artists. They're always, you know, whoever's watching and you're from the ASMR community, you are always welcome at my in my project. It's not just ASMR exclusive. It's for anyone who likes performing arts, acting, you name it. You can think of it. You're more than welcome. You know, there's no pressure to join. There's no, you know, I say this from the very bottom of my heart. There is no pressure to join. I will not put you into a character. You choose. This is why I did the Google form. This is why I created the Google form. Because I want everyone to have a say. And this is why I have the Discord server as well. Because I want everybody involved to have a say. I want everybody to be involved. You know, it's not just me sending out scripts telling people what to say and what to do and who to be. You know, it is a flexible, creative. I mean, this world, the world I've built, is far too big to build on my own now. I mean, you know, it's. I will quite happily. I will put an invite into the chat. Oh yes. I will put an invite into the chat. I'm just doing it now. Hang on, I've got to try and make sure I get the right, there we go, I want to make sure I get the right section first, because there's certain ways, oh no, oh dear, invite people, never, no limit, no, there's no limit, no, there's no limit. Thank you, Rosea. That really does mean a lot to me. You know, I've been building this world for 5 years now, and there you go. That's my Discord server for anyone who'd like to join. You know, it's completely free. Like subscribing to this channel, it's free. It doesn't cost you a penny to subscribe. I heard another ASMR content creators say that, and it made me chuckle. So I'm just I think it was someone called Jeannie B ASMR. She was talking about another YouTuber who said that, you know, it doesn't cost anything to subscribe to a channel. Seriously though, you know, I know my work is very niche, and I get that it's not for everybody, but you know, to be able to share it with everyone really does mean a huge amount to me. Excellent, lovely, 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 lovely. I've just sent you a wave. Oop, what's going on here? So, yeah, you know, I mean, it's 5 years in the making, in the building, and the lore itself. I mean, when you look at how many cities and towns I've now got in this world, and I've got a list of about 6,000 character names to work with. I've got a whole spreadsheet of character names to work with, and it comes to about approximately 6,000. That doesn't mean to say we're going to have 6,000 characters, but you know, it gives me the flexibility for character names, and some of them are already established, like Cleo and Trajan, Maximus, Vespasian, and of course other people have come in with their own original names, like of course Iris and Rosea, as played by ASMR Rosea yourself, of course. You know, that's the thing. I am very keen on people creating their own characterizations, building their own character. Everything I do is groundwork. I lay the foundations. I provide the exactly. You know, I as a content creator myself. Excuse me, I'm still sort of tasting pistachio. I believe that everyone should be involved. You know, I started the project out as a solo concept, and the thing is, when I first started it, I didn't think it would Yaloma ASMR. Who else? Iris would be the name of the past version of my MC. Oh no, that's cool. I like. Yes, sorry. Yeah, I know what you mean. I do know what you mean. No, I like that. I like that a lot. But yeah, the first people to join me in my project were Yaloma ASMR, Black Cat Aura ASMR, Sleeping Artist ASMR, Rain the Tamrin ASMR, Spooky AL, and then it went on from there, really. You know, I mean, Jodie Marie has been involved. Who else? Whisperwind, Sage. She was involved in some of the early stuff. And of course, everyone moves on. They have their own things. You know, their channels got bigger, and you know, their channels got bigger and more involved, which, you know, niche. That's how I look at it. My content, as I've said, is niche. I mean, you know, you don't get a lot of content like mine on YouTube. It's so full of lore. I mean, I have written a novel. I think I'm going to have to split it into 2 books. because it's 818 pages long, 50, I think it's 58 chapters. There is an unedited version of it over on my Discord. If you scroll down to the bottom of the Discord server, there is a copy of it. So yeah, it is available to read, but I'd love to get it published one day, perhaps. It needs a lot of editing, and I want to actually get it. I want to actually get it edited so that it's properly, because it's written in the first person. It's not even written in third person. It's written in past tense. As I say, it needs a lot of editing. There's a lot of stuff in it that needs to be tidied up, and I am thinking of self-publishing, yes. But as I say, there's a lot of it that needs cleaning up, and a few plot holes that need to be filled. But that's nothing I can't do. The thing is, if we continued with the main storyline in the series, in the project on YouTube, we'd probably be up to about chapter 30 by now. The thing is, things happened, people move on, lives change, we all go in different directions. So I took the story Lord of War and Heartache into a alternate direction and paved the way for Tales of the Caravan. Now, technically, Tales of the Caravan would have been a spin-off, but it's kind of become a soft reboot, because it's told from the perspective of Maximus. Now, Cleo and Trajan are still going to feature. They are still going to feature. They are still integral. So that's myself and my good friend Guinevere. And that's for you, Gwyn, if you're watching. So, they are still a very integral part, because the crown of the Tyrant King is still missing. And Maximus is still searching for it. So it's still part of the world and still part of the timeline. The 50,000 year timeline has not changed. That's still set. That's a set timeline. The locations haven't changed. They're set locations. As in the cities, the forts, the towns, the settlements, everything like that. They're dedicated. They are set. So what's really happened is that the focus of the storyline has taken a new direction away from the viewer character, because the viewer was always known as the diplomat, and it was the diplomat from chapters 1 to 16, and anything that was sort of like two or more characters talking to each other, like Volkov and Boris, for example, or anything like that, really, that didn't directly involve the diplomat, has now become very much the core element of Tales of the Caravan. And of course, the first sort of idea that followed this new concept was actually the Blood Harvest Ball, and that was what, about 2023. So it's really taken a long time to get this far, and I have been doing a big sort of casting call. I mean, it's totally voluntary. No, it's a non-profit. It's a non-profit project, completely amateur. I mean, I'm a complete amateur. It's just that I approach this project with a professional attitude. I mean, you've got to take it. I feel I should take it seriously. I'm the creator of the series. I don't mean that in a way to sound like, but because I dreamed it up, because I built the lore, around what's been created so far, it has to be approached in a professional manner. Now, obviously, the project itself has a lot of very interactive roles, and you know, I have been very flexible. I've made sure to make it so that everyone can take part, whether they want to do voice acting, appear on camera, or just help out behind the scenes. That's very important to me. You know, I have worked to adapt this project into something that functions in a much more practical and professional manner, shall we say, rather than just reaching out to people. People reach out to me. You know, I personally don't like going up to people and saying, do you want to be part of this? It doesn't feel right to me. I want people, because I feel like that's pushing people. I feel like, you know, I'm not one of these people that says, you're going to be this, you're going to be this, because good grief, was it nearly 2 years ago now? Halloween first. Yes, it was Halloween 2023. It was. But I do remember that. I do remember that. But you know, in the past, people have reached out to me. Sorry, that was me knocking my microphone. In the past, people have reached out to me and it's worked. I've tried reaching out to people and I felt very uncomfortable doing it. It doesn't... there will be a new... Not this year, because it takes a lot of logistics to do. But there will be a follow-up. I'd like there to be a follow-up, and I'd like to tie it in with the caravan, because I think the two go together. They're not mutually exclusive. You know, they are all part of the same world, and I think to bring them together into one concept would be quite intriguing. You know, I think it would work. We could, as a community, we can make it work. This is why I keep calling it my community YouTube collaborate. You know, my community YouTube community collaboration project, because it is a community project. I believe in there's never any pressure. You know, there's never any pressure to do anything. You know, I've said to people, if you need to reach out and say you can't do something, please reach out and say so. You know, I'm not gonna you know, dismiss people for having, you know, living their lives, because I'm not that sort of person. You know, I don't demand people do things, or I give them the option, you know, and if they need to withdraw for any reason, I will not sit here and say, well, you can't be part of that project anymore. The door will always remain open, the invitation will always be there, because I believe that in order for something to work well, you have to respect and show respect towards individuals. You know, you can't if you're going to be the host of a project, this is just me talking personally, this is just my personal opinion. if you are going to host a project, I think it's important that I personally treat people with dignity, respect, um, compassion, empathy, things like that. And I'm not always like that. I admit I'm human. I make mistakes. Sometimes I get over enthusiastic, and for that I apologise as well, because sometimes I latch on to an idea and it kind of does take over, but there's always good intent. There is never, I don't do things with malicious intent. Honestly, I am not that way inclined. I do get stressed, I do get upset, and I do sometimes. I'd be very interested to join you in that. I've got some new fidget toys, so let me keep me posted about that, please. I'd be very interested. No, they're not. They're not easy, really. This is why I set up the Discord server, and why I created the Google form, which I will also put into the chat, so people can see it. Because I believe, again, that people should have the option to decide how they want to be involved. And again, I think it's crucial for my project personally that I treat it in the manner that I do, because it is important to me. It is very important to me. Because I've put so much, I've put so much thought and creativity into it. So this is the Google Drive form, so people can have a look at that if they want, and if people want to get involved, they can fill that out. Long story short, once they've done that and I've received it, I will receive an email to tell me that you've done it. I will then send you an email, which will contain all the links to the information, the PDF, the frequently asked questions, the Discord server, which I have shared in this group, in this chat, and also exactly that's it. And I agree with you there. People have that option, and I do believe it's important that they have that option. Comfort and safety is everything. What's going on here? Sorry, my phone is doing something. Oh no, it's fine. It's fine. It's just a junk message. And as I say, some. Stop saying La da 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 da. Boof. Okay. Yeah. That is a rule I have in Tales of Caravan. I'm very, very careful about that. Very, very careful. You've got to be in this day and age. You really do. And as I say, the Google form is also a sort of litmus test for sort of excuse me, I do apologise. That was very unfortunate, and I haven't got a drink. Bear with. I'm going to go and get a drink. And we are back. There we go. Sorry about that. I had to go and get not going to be able to talk. Where was I? Let's see. Oh yes, there are videos of Rosea and Iris on your channel, aren't there? Yeah, if definitely if anyone wants to see the characters of Rosea and Iris outside of my channel, definitely go and see Hello. How's that? That seems to be a bit better. A bit loud. That's a bit loud. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me, mother? So anyway, definitely go and see ASMR Rosea's channel. Excellent content. I will be honest, I don't always... I support a lot of ASMR content creators. I find it very difficult to comment and interact. I struggle doing live streams. I mean, you can tell because obviously I'm sort of umming and ahhing and... Welcome AV, newcomer to the channel, welcome. Nice to see you in the chat. Sorry, I'm just having a few pistachio nuts. I'm very partial to pistachios. So as a content creator, see, I don't always call myself a YouTuber. I prefer to think of myself as a content creator because my world spans several different platforms. I mean, I've got bits about it on Instagram, I've got bits about it on Tumblr. I'm very active on Tumblr these days. I have an entire blog dedicated to it now, and that is where I very much talk about most of my content now. I found a very, very friendly community on Tumblr. I like Tumblr personally. You get the odd troll, you get the odd cyberbully, but the 9 times out of 10, it's where I've met a lot of the people I'm making the new project with on the Discord server. In fact, I've got the Discord server up, so let me unlock the video capture device. We are in... I'm currently in the Grand Council chamber of the... So I'm going to unlock my camera. We're going to unhide the screen. So I'm going to make my camera smaller so you just see me in the top corner, and we'll go through the it is sort of forgotten, but it is a good source. So this is the Ondarian Monarchy, which is the dedicated server for Tales of the Caravan and Lord of War and Heartache. It's very much work in progress. It's now a community server, so it's very much its own thing. But you can see it's the Grand Council really is for the mods, as is work in progress, so that the mods and I can discuss what's going on to update the server itself. Server suggestions is open to everyone, so if you join the server, you can make suggestions. Obviously, we've got the laws, as I call them, code of conduct. So that's pretty much self-explanatory. That's the one I normally recommend you go to after the gateway. I mean, we've got actually 22 plus 5 is 27. We've got about 29 members, 30 members on the Discord server, and I've had from the chat screen about interest of about 50 people, which is not chat screen, the Google form. I can't say Google. I'm not laughing. I'm not making myself laugh. Then obviously we've got the welcome to the monarchy message, because you automatically become an Ondarian citizen. These videos are on YouTube, so you can see them on YouTube. General lore is just the rundown of the project, really, with a few examples. How to get involved is very much self-explanatory. It's it tells you how to get involved in the project more than anything. So obviously the email address here is the email address that's on my YouTube channel. So it is my YouTube channel by others. So the only ones that are really established are obviously Harley and Jodea, who my friend Graham, has developed. But of course, obviously, we've got Maximus, Rafiq, Gideon, who some of these are all voiced by me. Graham is sort of the custodian of Arendella's character, but a lot of these are. Volkov is another one I voice. Boris is another one I voice. Cleo is voiced by my friend Gwyn. Trajan is voiced by me.
Jericho is voiced by me.
I'll show you how I do that voice in a minute. Oh, there's Rosea, or Rose, and Iris, as played by Rosea. So there's a lot happening. I mean, we've now introduced other races, the dwarves, the Fae, and the Dark Fae. This is all very much work in progress. I mean, the geography, we've got 8 continents, 5 provinces on the continent of Monarcha. Let me expand it. Prehistory of the world. Timeline of Monarcha goes back 50,000 years, so we're not going to go through that tonight. We've got currency. I've actually developed a functional currency. So there's your currency for you. I've even made the currency signs as well. I developed them myself from letters of the alphabet and just played around with them. I mean, we've got flags of the monarchy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We've got 12 locations listed at the moment, but there are so many more I need to add. I mean, we haven't got Janos, Sarton, Sarnia, or Turva from the Forest Realm. We haven't got Malakut, Netska, Hokmat, or Hacknot. I think it's Hacknot. So there's quite a few. As you can see, the tavern is the most sort of generalised one. So, and then obviously, so as you can see, it's very oh yes, because you're also just seeing your comment there. You have 4 characters. Yes, because you're also Pandora and because you also portray Pandora, and there is one other, and then the name has escaped me. Jane, that's it. Jane. Pandora's one of the dancers. Jane and Pandora, for the record, so everyone knows, Jane and Pandora are voice acted characters. They don't appear as live action like Rose and Iris do. Myself and ASMR Rosea discussed this in great detail, and of course I do respect everyone's comfort zones and personal preferences because of the nature of various characters, shall we say, particularly Pandora. Although you're also the voice, you actually have 6 characters, because you voiced Justina, and oh, that's right, yes, Jane uses Sims. That's right. That's right. You do. Right, I am going to put my screen back because we've just got the chat there, and that's not doing anyone any good. So that's not doing me any good. So I'm putting the screen back. I will lock that in place so it can't be resized. I'll shut that down. That's right, she does give Iris the invite, and of course Pandora is a standalone character, but you've also voiced Justina the vampire, and also don't forget you voiced Han the mage, so they will be I do plan for them to make a return as well. And I think with the nature of the caravan, I think Pandora will be making a return at some point. My friend Amanda, she is going to be voicing her character of Scarlet, and we're going to look at introducing Ebony, Desiree, and there was a third sister. Oh no, it was Scarlet, Ebony, and Desiree, yeah. So they will be voiced rather than live action. They were going to be live action originally, but we decided for purposes of logistical reasons, we're going to do them as voice acting. But the option for anyone to appear on camera is there for anyone who wishes to appear on camera. You know, there's no pressure to do that if you don't want to. It's very important to me that is maintained. I don't always appear on camera. Maximus, I'm planning to make Maximus more live action. My character Vespasian is the only character so far that's properly appeared on camera more than once. But most of my characters are voice acted because of their visual appearance. Maximus is actually inspired by myself, so it's quite easy for me to slip into his character, because I actually have the costume, so you know I can actually perform him. It's just doing the voice that's a bit problematic, because when you do the voice, you've got to make it deeper. So let me demonstrate. Yeah, exactly. It's the same. I think it's the same here in Britain. I mean, we're coming into autumn now, so you must be coming into spring. But you know, you can always message me if you want to take a character into live action at any time, and we can always discuss it. You know where to find me. You know, you can always message me and we can talk about it. Whichever character you want. But I do always make sure that I ask a person if they are 100% sure they want to take a character on, because they choose that character. I'm not a forceful person by nature, and I can't abide the thought of forcing someone to take on a role that doesn't feel right to them. It's happened to me in the past. I'm not going to go into details at all. But I found myself in a situation that made me very, very uncomfortable. And long story short, I decided I didn't want that role. I didn't want to be involved because it made me very uncomfortable as to what was being asked. Oh right. So it is getting warmer in your part of the world then. But you know, drop me a message. You can always drop me a message if you ever have any ideas. You know, it doesn't have to be, because obviously time zones make things a bit more difficult, but I'm always there. I am always there. And I'm still eating pistachios. That's the problem with pistachios. They're very, very Moorish. Yeah, it's slowly getting colder here. I actually went out with a jumper on today. A jumper. Sorry. I'm a fool for pistachios. I love pistachio nuts. But where was I? I don't know if anyone's seen one of my latest videos, but I kind of did like a showcase of what Maximus would call like sort of a showcase of the caravan. So I think we will watch it, and you can let me know what you think, because I'm not sure if a lot of people have seen it. So we'll just pop this on. I'm going to turn the microphone off for a second, and turn the music down, so that so this is a little something I put together recently for anyone who hasn't seen it. So what you've just seen is, I can shut that down. Yeah, so you've just seen what is pandemic music. So you've seen how my music works. So anyway, this is a little something I put together that I think people might enjoy. So let's have a look. If it loads. Microphone is still on. I've decided to keep it on.
Been searching in the dark, your sweat soaking through the floor. And buried in your bones, there's an ache that you can't ignore. Taking your breath, stealing your mind, and all that was real is left behind. Don't fight it, it's coming for you, running at you. It's only this moment, don't care what can gather. Y'all feel a dream, can't you see you getting closer? Just surrender, cause you feel the feeling taking over. It's fire, it's freedom, it's flooding open. It's a picture in the pulpit and your blood devotion. There's something breaking at the brick of every wall, it's holding all that you know. So tell me, do you wanna go where it's covered in all colored lights, where the runaways are running the night? Impossible comes true, it's taking over you. We light it up, we won't come down, and the sun can't stop us now.
So yeah, that was a little something I put together that's on my channel. We can just adjust that a little bit more. There we go. So yeah, I'm just going to put the pandemic music back up. So yeah, that I've been seeing your Pentinent series. It looks good. You know, it looks good, but I might have a look at it myself. The Pentinent. But yeah, you know, the video's up so people can watch it. I've got a version that I want to try and use for live streams as an opening title. I'll take these off because now I know the volume of the music is fine again. You know, I mean, it kind of gives the concept of the core of the caravan. You know, it kind of gives the sort of central concept, but it's not just that. It's much more than what you've seen on the video. There's a lot more to it. You know, if you look at the Discord server, the Google Drive, all the documents I've written, you know, everything has been written meticulously. Everything has been written meticulously because I want people to be involved. I don't just want what you've seen in the video. Sorry, I've just grabbed a couple more pistachios. What I really want is a diverse range of characters and roles. You know, that video is very much just the tip of the iceberg. It's talking about what the central core of the caravan really is. And if you've watched past lives before, you'll notice that I always very much do my utmost to avoid actually saying what the core of the caravan is. I think it's better if you can show it. For reasons that it makes it look real. It makes it look practical. And as I say, you know, the project is flexible, it's adaptable, it's remote, so you don't have to travel the world. You know, you can do it from the comfort of your own home. And it's all explained in the Discord server, and then everything I send to yeah, very much so. Show, don't tell. You know, it's easier to visualize it than to sort of vocalize it. And I don't know, it kind of, I guess I always feel a bit anxious about talking about it in a way. I shouldn't be. I really shouldn't be anxious about it because, you know, it is something it's something that I've always had a fascination by, shall we say. I've been fascinated by it from a very young age. Being autistic, some people would probably call it a hyperfixation. I'd rather it be that than anything else. No, it's just something I've always thought deserves to be, and I've always thought it should be a legitimate Oh, thank you. Yeah, I do. I do really enjoy writing scripts. I really do. It's that spark that I have for script writing, because I like to really stretch the imagination. I do enjoy bringing characters to life. I mean, for someone like me who sort of struggles to speak live on camera, you know, I'm okay talking to people like my family and local friends, shall we say. But when I try and get on camera like this, I can't improv either. I can't improv either, or ad lib, because I knew that was, yeah, it's different for everyone really. I mean, if you've got the concept in your mind and you've got an idea of, sorry, I'm playing with a fiddle with a fidget toy. I'm playing with a fidget toy because it helps me to focus. I think if you've got an idea and how you want to approach it, it makes it so much easier when you've got an idea. With script writing, I can imagine a conversation in my head or how I want someone to communicate, you know, tone of voice, things like that. But trying to think off the top of my head is it's it was actually given to me by a friend in America. It's like a keyboard fidget toy. There you go. Some clicky noises for you. And the fun thing is, if I turn it around, I can hang it off my thumb. Of course, if I put it down on the desktop, it does sound like a... It means I can sort of make keyboard noises without having to overwork my keyboard. But yeah, you know, the whole concept for the caravan actually started out with Jodie Marie ASMR, because a ASMR artist had to pull out. Her name was T for 2 ASMR, also known as Miss T ASMR, and she was going to play a character called Shy, and she pulled out for circumstances beyond anyone's control, and Jodie Marie actually stepped in as Arendella. Same concept, different character. But it kind of went from there really, because the next character to come along was Elena, played by Irma La Dolce ASMR, and then Exploring ASMR played Cassandra, another character. That's fair enough. That is fair enough. Dialogue is, I totally understand that. I do have to think long and hard about what I'm writing, because I have to. If I'm writing for Maximus, and Paldrock or Rafik or Boris or Lord Volkov, basically any character I voice. If I'm writing for Maximus and another voice, I actually hold the conversation between myself. So I think about how I would say it first. When it's original characters for other people, that's where I do struggle, and I have to sort of think about where I want the story to go. And it isn't easy. It isn't easy. I'm not going to pretend it is. I'm not going to deny it isn't, because although I've got the idea of how I want to approach the story and how not everyone will do it in the same way as me, but I want to make sure everyone has the same opportunity to take on a role and become who they want to be, whether it be audio script, voice acting, or on camera. I think audio script is easier to write because you don't need visual directions. Video scripts are harder because you've got to think about sort of concepts of people actually moving on camera. But that's something that can always be crossed. And the thing is, I'm very open to discussion. I want people to approach me. I want people to ask questions. I want people to raise concerns. I want people to discuss these concepts with me. Exactly. I act it out because I know which direction I want it to go. That's the easiest way. It's up here, so work it out up here, and then put it on to the screen, put it onto the keyboard, sort of thing. But the thing is, some might call me sensitive, but there has been times where I feel like I'm calling out into the void, and I know I overreact. I know, and I'm not perfect. I don't ever pretend to be perfect, because that makes me look foolish if I do. But sometimes, you just sort of I'm trying to think how to word this. I'm seriously trying to think how to say what I want to say, because it's difficult. I think I'm not going to say it, to be honest with you, because I think it could be misconstrued. I think it could be taken out of context, and in my heart of hearts, I know what I want to say. I know how I want to say it, but I think it's not right. It's not. Yeah. I know what I want to say, and I think for reasons of respect and honesty and truth and all that, it's better that I exactly, there is a pressure to be perfect. And I'm not perfect. I know that. I have my flaws. I'm a human being. I make mistakes. I I strive to do better. That's exactly what it is. I strive to do better. I strive to be a better person every day. And thank you, Rose. I appreciate it. Thank you. You know, and I just, every day is just another day, really. And every day I'm coming up with new ideas, and I don't always share them. The reason I don't always share them is because I'm not sure how to approach them or execute them, you know, or, you know, discuss them. There's a lot of things that make me anxious, especially when it comes to collaboration. There's a lot of things that make me anxious. For example, talking about the caravan directly, about what its actual concept is, the core of it. You know, it does make me anxious, because I honestly believe that the core of the caravan project can be a legitimate, respectful, beautiful ASMR trigger. And I have believed this for a very, very, very long time. There is so much potential that is sort of not going to waste. It's not going to waste. But there is potential there, and I believe in that potential. And I know that this is coming from me, and I am not of a particular demographic. I'm trying to be diplomatic here. You know, and anyone who knows me knows me for who I am. You know, I make no pretenses. I am who I am. I can't change that. I don't want to change that. But, you know, everything I've ever done has been done with respect. You know, respect, acceptance, you know, I'm struggling for the words here. I'm just... Everything I've done with respect and commitment to making sure everyone feels safe, comfortable and confident in whatever role they take in the project. I have never forced anyone into anything they don't want to do. Heck, Vespasian was created by me and performed by me so that I could show that I am not afraid to step outside my comfort zone. And, you know, that was a big step outside of my comfort zone. And he will appear again. He will appear again in the future. At the moment, I don't know when. But, you know, he was developed so that people can see that I would put myself into the same position as anyone else. You know, you've got to, if you're, you know, it's not because I wanted to prove anything. Technically it was. But, you know, if I talk the talk, I've got to walk the walk. You know, I've got to put myself in the same shoes as others. So that's how I came up with the idea. You know, do what do for yourself what you might think others may be interested in. The words are beginning to struggle to come out now because I'm getting into the real deep stuff. The real deep stuff. We've been going an hour and a half. I'm not stopping now. I am not stopping now. But I just... Everything I do is done with sincerity, honesty, truth, respectfulness. Confidence, you know, and as I say, I don't approach people. I'm not personally a fan of approaching people to ask them to take part. What I want is for people to approach me with their interest, because I don't feel comfortable saying, oh, I think you should be this role, I think you should be that role, because that's not me. That's not the person I am. I want everyone to be involved on their own merit. I want people to say, I want this role, I want this character, you know, I want to create a character based around this, you know. I mean, we've got adventurers. I mean, listed, we've got at least 10 different types of character, basic character types. We've got adventurers, artisans, caravan encampment workers, law and order, mages, merchants, nobility, who else? Mages, merchants, nobility, sideshow entertainers, and rogues, spies, and all that. And of course, those groups have subgroups as well. So for adventurers, you might have treasure hunters, or you know, archivists, archaeologists, historians, artisans. You might have painters, poets, singer-songwriters, things like that. Mages is basically any class of mage, but you get what I mean. You get what I mean. And then of course you've got the core aspect of the exactly, they're former adventurers. You don't even have to be an act. Your character doesn't even have to be active in what they do. They can be settled. They could be settled down. They could be retired. They could be, you know, they could be on a break. They could be between adventures, looking for somewhere to just rest and relax before they move on to their next big adventure. You know, it's the flexibility is literally there on how to sort of develop a character. You know, it's all suggestions. It's not demands. It's not telling people how to be. What I provide is suggestions, not instructions. I mean, they don't even have to go directly from the script. They can take the script, adapt it, and work with it. They can make changes to it. I mean, I email the script. If they want to make changes to lines, that's for them. You know, that's not me. I'm a bit bunged up as well. That doesn't help. But it's just, it's finding the people that really want to be involved. I mean, the Google form alone has 50 people, and I'm waiting to hear from quite a few of them. A few of them have joined the Discord server, And I am absolutely thrilled by that. You know, that really does mean a lot to me, that people are actually joining the Discord server and seeing for themselves what it's about, because, you know, it really does mean a lot to me when people take interest in what I create, because I didn't create it for myself. I mean, I didn't create it to make money. I created it because I wanted to create a world, create a story, and share it. That's the purpose of it. That's why I call it a community collaboration, because it's not mine exclusively anymore. You know, the whole the background of it, the concept, the timeline, and you know, the history and the geography and all that of the world I've built is mine. But I think when it comes to populating the world, each character has to be individual. They have to be their own voice, their own actions, their own ideas and thoughts. You know, I lay the groundwork and people build upon it. That's how it's got to the point now. Because this world is too big for me to build on my own. It's far too big for me to build on my own. Some might say Maximus is the glue that holds it all together. Maybe he is, but at the same time, he can't hold it all together without Paldrock or Rafik or Boris, or, you know, even if they're sort of exactly. You know, there are ways that people can adapt. You know, you use Sims 4, for example, you know, and I create my artwork. I do voice acting most of the time because it's easier for me, because I currently don't have a space to put on my green screen. In fact, I don't have a lot of space at the moment where I am. You know, it's about convenience more than anything, and at the moment it's not convenient for me to do live action Maximus because of current circumstances. But that said, I would like to do more live action Maximus. I think he's only ever been live action once, and that was in chapter 16, the Nightmare Machine. But honestly, I would like to bring him to life more in person, like I've done with Vespasian. But in truth be told, it's finding the people to help me build this world. And I've joined a few Discord servers and talked about it, and you know, I've maybe I'm too over enthusiastic. Maybe it's me. Just and I apologise for that. I'm passionate about what I create. It's something that's just become a part of me. It's a world that I've built and developed and grown and evolved. You know, it's beyond just a single video. You know, it's beyond everything else. I mean, you know, I didn't think I'd be sort of doing world building at 41 years of age. You know, I'm 41, and I didn't think I'd be building a vast world as big as I am. You know, with diverse characters and people. I mean, I'm now introducing sort of non-human races. I mean, the Sklade and the Calvari have always been part of this world, but we've never really delved into their lore. And of course, I'm slowly beginning to build new lore for different races and species and things like that. Because as I said earlier, I've written a novel, and in that novel it features a few species that haven't actually been encountered at all in the project, mainly because I wouldn't know how to voice them because they're not human. Some like the Sklade and the Calvari would have human voices, so that would be easy to do. But there's some, like the night crawlers and the or night stalkers, I can't remember what I've called them, and the shark tiles would be a bit more complicated to do. But that's a bridge I cross when I get to it. I'm not going to force it, and I'm not going to force people's hands. And I know I'm sitting here and I'm sounding, mainly because I'm bunged up, I've got a bunged up nose, and I don't need to sit here and sound like I'm lamenting. Because it's not a lament, really. It's just me speaking freely and honestly from the heart. It's just me opening up and being true to myself as much as anyone else. I created this world not just for me, I created this world for everyone. And 5 years in the making, and it's going to continue regardless. It's here to stay as far as I'm concerned, because I love it too much. It is my passion project. It is my passion project for YouTube. It means so much to me. It really does. And people can either like it or dislike it. I'm happy that they like it. I'm honestly happy that they like it. Yeah, finding the right settings will make it easier and everything, but I don't know, to be honest. I honestly don't know. I just get tired, really. I get tired and frustrated and angry and there's no need for it. There's no need for it. It's just frustration. It's frustration. I just go through so much in life, and sometimes I think to myself, one day something good will happen. Something good will happen, and it'll all fall into place. And I know I sound. Oh, I'm listening to myself, and I'm. It's got to that point where I just can't think, because the I guess I'm just being too honest now, and that's a problem. That's a problem I've always had. You know, that's on me. I think it just doubles down to the fact that I live in a world that isn't built for neurodivergent people, you know, and that's what makes it frustrating more than anything. You know, it's not designed for neurodiversity. It's not acknowledging of neurodiversity. Even if people say it is, it isn't, and that frustrates me just as much as anything else, really. And I know this is a complete flip of the coin, talking about my project going over to, you know, but it's how my brain works. It really is how my brain works. One minute I could be on top of the world, the next minute I could be rock bottom. You know, I could be. I mean, it's taken much longer in this live stream for me to get to this point than it used to, so that's a record. You know, we managed to go over 100 minutes without me being like this, so I've got that going for me. But them's the breaks. Thankfully, having music playing allows me to sort of build out the silence, or fill out the silence. At least it's not boring like it used to be. You know, Epidemic Sounds is good like that. And I'm not even looking at the camera now. That's how much my brain is trying to focus again. I just, you know, I apologise. I do apologise, honestly, I do. Because, you know, this is not how most live streams go. This is me. This is me just speaking my mind. It's nothing, you know, I don't get sponsorships. I don't get, you know, I'm not monetized. And if I were monetized, let's just put it that way, I've always maintained, and I maintain it to this day, that it would be reinvested back into the channel. You know, that's how I'd want to do it. But you know, I'm not monetized, and that's perfectly fine. You know, I hate that tone of voice. I really hate that tone of voice. I don't like using that tone of voice because it sounds so wrong. It really does sound so wrong. I think in all, I've just got so much frustration built into me. That content creating and writing scripts and all that is how I vent it. You know, a lot of my frustration comes out in Maximus, for example. A lot of it comes out in Maximus's words, because that's how I portray him. That is how I portray him. He is a man with pent-up frustration, but he is also my safety valve. He is my safety valve. Without Maximus, I can't vent. Maximus is my vent. You know, he is the thing that allows me to breathe. I'm not even looking at the camera anymore. I'm know that not everyone likes it when content creators are too raw and open, and I respect that, and I apologise, because I'm just letting the steam off, really, because I don't know, I just need to let it release in words, because there's nothing else I feel I can do. I've got to let it out somehow, or it'll just consume me. I don't want it to consume me, but at the same time, yeah, I mean, Maximus obviously takes out a lot of his frustrations on Paldrock, and Paldrock takes it in his stride, because they've known each other for so long. I mean, they've been together as friends for centuries, and as I say, for me, it is a safety net. It is a safety valve that allows me to breathe when I need to. But so Tales of the Caravan is now the new version of Lord of War and Heartache. It will still be known as Lord of War and Heartache, but I will refer to it as Tales of the Caravan more and more. Obviously, the central concept remains, and people are more than welcome to reach out to me and discuss. I put the link to the Google form and the Discord in the chat, so I think I've got it set so that I've got it set so that the chat remains intact afterwards. But if not, please drop me a comment in the comment section below, and I will send you the link. Drop me the email you use for your YouTube channel, and I will drop you all the links you need, including the Google form, which helps to gauge interest in certain elements and aspects. But all in all, I mean, we're nearly at the 2-hour mark. This is the longest live stream I've done in a while. This is literally the longest live stream I've done in a while. My messages on Discord are always open. If you follow me on Instagram, you can message me there. If you follow me on Blue Sky, you can message me there. If you follow me on Instagram, you can message me there as well. In fact, I will put all the links into the chat box. So here is my Blue Sky. I don't use X. I do not use X at all. So that's my Blue Sky. I actually left X in October 2023. What's that? That's fine. That's my Tumblr. And my Instagram. I don't really use TikTok. I do have a TikTok feed, but I don't really use it. But you can follow me on Blue Sky, Tumblr, and Instagram, where I share a lot of my content. So although Blue Sky is probably a bit more personal rather than content related, but you know, you can follow me there all the same. But apart from that, I think I'm going to be honest, I think that's everything for this evening. We will be going live again in the future. I plan to do more lives, hopefully better organised ones, and hopefully ones that don't go down a deep rabbit hole of emotion. And I apologise, I do apologise, in all honesty. You know, I don't mean to go down these rabbit holes, but sometimes my mind, my autistic mind, puts me into a certain direction, and I just have to follow it and let it go, because if I don't, it becomes pent up energy, and that's not healthy. It's better to let it escape than to keep it held back, because I can make myself ill, and I don't want that. I seriously don't want that. So I'm going to sign off. Thank you for joining me. I don't know if I'll be live again next Saturday. I will try and see what I can arrange, but please be aware that it may not be every Saturday, and it may not even be at the weekends. It might even be a impromptu live stream in the week. I don't really plan these. These happen when they happen, if I feel in the mood. And yeah, apart from that, I will see you soon, and look forward to seeing you all in the Discords. I will share the link for the Discord again, so that it's I will share the link for the Discord again, so that it's in the chat. Invite people. Invite link. Yes. So we'll just put that one back in. And the other one I said that I was going to do was I was going to redo the Google form as well, so people can look at it at the end of the chat. So and then I will call it a day. So I just want to share this. Oh, looks like we've had no music playing for a while. Oh yes, we have. Yes, we have. It was just a changeover of tracks. So there we go, and that's the Google form as well, if anyone wants to fill it out or see what it looks like. So that's it from me. We're literally nearly at the 2-hour mark. I think that's a good time to end it. Thank you so much for joining me. It's been an absolute pleasure. It's been a bit of a journey, but these things are sometimes, especially with me. Again, I'm sorry it got a bit heavy, but swings and roundabouts with me. You know, if I've got something to get off my chest, I will get it off my chest. So, you know, it's better to let it out than keep it bottled up. Apart from that, thank you for joining me, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.